Hi, my name's John from John and Claire Stewart Equine Training. I hope you're enjoying all the little mini lessons that I'm trying to put together for everybody to see. Now, I'm going to show you how we put a bridle on and start to teach bridle cues on the horse. Heather has had this in her mouth once before. What we like to use is just a nice simple bit. You can see that. Just a simple bit with cheek bars on it. This just helps encourage the horse to yield to the pressures that we want instead of just putting huge pressures on the bar. It's one of the softest bits you can get, or gentlest bits on the horse. It is a bit that translates the amount of energy in my arm. If I pull 3 kilos worth of weight, it'll transform into 3 kilos in the horse's mouth. It doesn't generate extra pressure on the horse's mouth. Any type of bridle you can use, reins, it's irrelevant. I like to use the rope ones, which are John Lyons bridle set, because I just find them very comfortable in the hand and have good feel when you're playing with the mount. So again, we have to keep in mind all the previous lessons that we've done with this horse, because if any of them fall apart at any stage, we need to go over them just to make them better. Now, with bridling, the horse is like the head collar. She needs to be able to accept all of the bridle all over her head and neck and stuff, so she's more comfortable with it. I do not put ropes in their mouths and all that sort of stuff, because I find you don't need to. I do play with their mouth with my fingers because we need them to open their mouth. Once the bridle or the bit is in the horse's mouth, I do not take it in and out, in and out. I just put it in once and that's it. I find there has not been a horse that I've played with where I need to put it in and out, in and out. I just need to put it in the horse's mouth and teach the horse exactly what the bridle does. So I hope this helps you with having a horse bridle better. At the end of this lesson too, you'll be able to control your horse's hips and nose and start to encourage the horse to be softer in the bridle for when we ride him, and ask for different exercises, serpentines, picking up leads and lead changes, all that sort of stuff. We teach all through the bridle. Then we actually put like a pre-cue on, which is our leg aids, etc. So first of all, we can sort of see here, as I'm coming up with a bridle, she's starting to throw her head as in, holy crap, what is it? So I just sort of go away and say, hey, it's okay, it's just the bridle. I come up and I say, hey, good girl. Give her a bit of a sack out with it all. Over the saddle. Please turn and face me. I'll just take off his head stalk. Now when it's the first time bridling the horse, I don't put the reins over the horse's neck, because of course he could take off and then I lose control of the horse and he could stand and hurt himself by standing on the reins or the bridle and break the bridle. I just put the reins over my arm, hold the lead rope, put it over him, put it all on, and then I'll put these over his head. Now, one of the first things we want to be able to do, or one of the things we want to be able to do, is to be able to touch up around the horse's head. Now, if they don't like it, all I do is pat and get them used to it. Yeah? So we pat here, and just run through that till they're really comfortable with having their head touched. Next is I run the bridle all over them, make sure they can handle that. Both sides, of course. Just step over here. Next, I'll put my hand over her head. I'll put the bridle over her. I ask her to just gently soften towards me. Good girl. Put my thumb in her mouth. As she opens it, I just gently slide it in and lift it up with my hand. I swap hands, I put one ear under, yeah, and then I push that ear under and just slide it over gently, yeah. Fix up any of the mane. I then put the reins over her head. I'll do up the cheek, the chin strap. Now the chin strap should have my hand space, so say 2.5 inches gap in here. If it's too tight, it ends up putting pressure on the horse's neck. With the pressure on the bit here, you want to make sure there's just a little smiley face on the side of her lips. Now for this exercise, I'm just going to quickly just run through some little exercises that we do in the bridle once we first put the bridle on. I don't just put a bridle on and leave them. When I put the bridle on, I just start to teach them the cues that I want to use later on in riding for our basic riding and our advanced riding exercises. So one of the first things that I do is I make sure I have a dressage whip so I can encourage the go forward cue, which is the same as in the round pen. I look at the hips and I say go forward, yeah? Now, once she's gone forward, I pick up the inside rein and I put a little bit of pressure going towards the hip, and when the leg moves, I let it go and then I give her a pat and walk off. Then I come back in and I grab the new inside rein, or the off rein. I ask her to go forward. I pick up the nose and bring it towards her hip. So it's like an inside turn, except this time it's not off my body language, it's off the bridle. And I'll do that for the next hour, just solid. So the process would look like this. Can you go forward? Can you bring your hips around? Good girl. Can you go forward? Can you go forward? Can you bring your hips around? And I give her a pat in between. Now I want the horse facing me when it hips over. So then I might grab the rein again and I say, horse, go forward a few steps. Bring your nose to your hips. Good girl. Now what this is going to do after an hour, teaches the horse to go forward cue. Good girl. Teaches the horse that when I pick up on one rein, I can move your hips to the side, which controls the hind end of the horse, which is its engine. Good girl. Over. It teaches the horse to soften its nose. So anytime a horse starts to pull on the bridle, we get them to move their hips over and bend their body. And you'll find what will happen is whenever she gets anxious, we can start to teach her that when you're anxious and excited, this cue means please move your hips over and stand. Yeah? Now you'll find when you're teaching this, some horses try and crowd into you. All we have to do is send them off faster, and that actually gives you a bit more space, yeah? Nose to the hips and let her stand. Yeah? Now you really want to take your time and use the same desensitizing skills that we've just done on her, because we don't want her doing this exercise all frantic and panicky, because we're trying to teach her that it's okay to be calm and you're not going to die, So we just keep going one side to the other. Anytime the horse makes a mistake, just like here, she wants to push on me, all I have to do is move and say, can you move forward? Now if your horse does this, if you hit your horse over and then it continues to run on, we don't tell him off, we just pick up the rein and say, can you hip over? And then if she ran off again, we just pick up and hip over till she stands. And she'll learn that. It can take 5 minutes, it can take 10 minutes for some horses. Some horses can just stand, Another one with this is if the horse wants to turn and face and I haven't touched the rein, I just gently say, can you go forward? Can you get your hips over? As you can see here, she isn't facing me, so what I do, I pick up the reins, I drive her forward, and I ask again. If she still doesn't do it, I drive her forward, and I ask again, and here you can see that she's actually got the right answer, and then I say, good girl. She'll learn over time that's the right answer. Now the key to this exercise is, as soon as she moves those hind feet, is to let the rein go. And as I said, we do that probably for a good hour in the first session. Taking the bridle off is virtually the same as putting it on. Come back here. Is over the head, give her a pat. I undo the cheek, just over the side, sweetie. We undo the cheek strap. I put my hand under the bridle, if I can get past all this hair. Now I just push it over one ear, I put the other ear out and I hold the bridle so it doesn't clacker all over her teeth, and then I just gently lower it out. And then give her a good pat and ask her to look at me. Come here. Good girl. Well done. Come here. Awesome. Thank you. I hope that helps with any problems you have with putting a bridle on a horse, or any horses that are really heavy in the bridle. Thanks so much. Thank you.